0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Oh, that's real good.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is my 2018 Triumph Bonneville Bobber. I've had this bike for about 2 years now, and I just made this video to show you what upgrades I've done to it over the last 2 years. Most of these upgrades are pretty basic and almost anybody can do them. There are a couple of upgrades that I did in this bike that was kind of a bit scary to do, especially for somebody who has no mechanical background. And like I said, I've had this bike for 2 years, and it's been 2 years of absolute joy. This bike makes me smile every time I get on it and ride it around. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into the mods. First up, Motone up and over 1-inch risers, handlebar risers. If you're not familiar with the Triumph, you can't really tell the difference, so that was one. Gives me a little bit more comfort when I'm riding. I also installed the quad lock handlebar mount with the vibration dampeners for my iPhone 13. The not so good looking cup holder. Very useful. I put my flask in there. My flask can keep cold water cold. Really useful for long rides. And for one of my favorite upgrades, I changed the slip-ons to these Hitchcock's short drag pipes. It makes the bike sound awesome, super loud. And if it wasn't loud enough before, you can do a catalytic converter delete, a cat delete or a decat. So what you actually do is you remove the catalytic converter and you replace it with the next pipe in its place. And what it means is that the airflow from the headers flow directly through the X pipe and then into the exhaust. The bike is louder, it breathes better, it's cooler. I was never really happy with the OEM 150 rear tire. I always thought it looked a little bit thin, so I upgraded it to a Bridgestone 170. Honestly, I can't tell the difference in terms of performance. It's basically the same to me. It just looks a little bit better. It's a little bit fatter on the rear now. And here is my 3-in-1 LED brake indicator and running light setup. These are cool, little micro LED lights. So much better than the chunky OEM brake lights that the bike came with. They're held together with these Motone brackets that you can order online. Just tidies up the back of the bike completely. I got rid of the old fender and put on this short fender or mudguard, whatever you want to call it. Word of warning, this mudguard does not stop anything. So I've heard a lot of bobber owners say that the ride can be quite stiff, and it's true. When I first got the bike was really quite stiff and hard on the back. But I kind of left the OEM shocks alone after I found the COC Customs Springer kit. Once you install that, the whole ride experience is completely different. It's a real game changer. It's a very clever design put together by a fellow in Australia. I heard that he's thinking of retiring, so it's a shame because this piece of equipment is so important for the bobber. It just turns the bobber into such a comfortable motorcycle to ride. I made a video of the COC Springer kit in action, and I'll put a link in the caption. Moving on to the airbox filter. So I kind of like the way the airbox looks. I do like these side panels, and I do like that the way the filters are covered up. I'm not a big fan of the pods, although I do think it does look pretty cool. So I upgraded the air filters to this SF Sprint filters, high flow filters. I think the model number is P08, and you can see from the video over here they're pretty see-through. It does let the engine breathe a lot better. The performance is quite noticeable, so I recommend that you should do this if you get a chance to. So over here I've got the rear license plate holder, and it just attaches directly onto the spindle nut, and I also remove the chain guard. I replaced the OEM brake and clutch levers with these levers. They're adjustable, they're slightly shorter and a bit more comfortable. Probably one of my favorite and most expensive upgrades is getting a remap. So I got a remap from DNK Tune. It's so worth it. It really opens up the bike. It gets rid of the rev limiter, so you've got a lot more power. The bike runs a lot smoother, the gears are a lot longer, so you can just really throttle the gears out. Do this if you can afford it. After doing the remap, I can guarantee you the bike is a completely different monster. It's a completely different bike to ride. The next upgrade is pretty simple, and all I did was just put a wider shoe or a wider foot onto the kickstand so it doesn't dig into the ground so easily. I also added a couple of crash bars to the bike, left and right. I did this right after I dropped my bike. So for a bit of a peace of mind, I recommend doing this. So I added an SAE connector to the battery terminal and just tucked the cable just behind the frame, so it's just easier for me to charge the battery if I need to. And I can also connect I can also put an adapter on and connect a USB device like a phone charger or a voltmeter to this cable, so it's quite useful. Okay, we're at the end of the video now, and I just wanted to see how many kilometers I've done. So 2 years, 15,871 kilometers on the clock. That brings us to the end of the video. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and if you want to leave a comment, please do. So until next time, everybody, ride safe.